Welcome to How to Drift a Slow Car. In case there's any confusion, that's not the car we're talking about. The car that we're talking about here is a 1999 Subaru Legacy Outback 2.2 liter. This car started its life as a howler slash demolition car, and thanks to my friends at Couple of Jerks, Chad Velez and the guys, turned this car into a drift car. Given the nickname Meaty Jr., this car allowed me to get back on the track and not miss any events while I worked on fixing my own car. This car also gave me the experience of drifting a sub 100 horsepower car, which I had never done before. This video is comprised of various clips throughout the last event that I drove the car, and throughout it I'm just gonna kind of explain what I do to drift such a slow car.
Matt just rear-ended me.
Alright, so this was the very first run of the day, and I left this clip in here just to show you guys that I'm not a professional and I'm not perfect, but I know a thing or two about drifting that might help you guys in the future. So here I am spinning, and like I said earlier, this car doesn't have very much horsepower, so if I can drift this, I think you guys can drift pretty much anything. So here in this next transition, you'll see that I go to let go of the wheel, the steering wheel stops right there, and I frantically try and catch the car, but it doesn't work out very well. Later on I found out that my front wheels were actually rubbing the fenders, which was causing it to not steer all the way. Also in this video there are a couple clips of my friends from Club Loose North telling me I have a drifting addiction, which they're not wrong. I have trouble not driving. I enjoy driving too much, and I'll find any means to get in the driver's seat, get behind the wheel, and burn some tires.
I should have known you'd find a way to come back. Dude, I can't not drive.
You have an addiction, and this is an intervention.
You're gonna gather in a circle and tell me I have a drifting problem?
Yeah, but the circle is going to be them circle drifting around.
Yeah, I like that.
Dude, I think if you just knock it back to sync, yes, just knock it back to sync.
Hey, go take some pictures, will ya? Yeah! Hey, watch the paint.
Alright, so I realize I haven't been very informative so far on this how to drift a slow car, but here I'm taking off right here. I'll pull the handbrake and I turn left at the same time. As I turn left, I'm also letting go of the wheel to let the car self-steer. Once again, transitioning into the back section, just trying to be smooth with the wheel. You don't have to fight with the steering wheel. Right here, taking a hand off the wheel, pointing at Ryan, aka Because Daddy, and then going about the rest of the track. The car naturally just wants to go straight, so you don't need to fight with the steering wheel. Right here, let go of the steering wheel, let it spin, grab it once I have enough angle, and then get back on the gas. With this car, I'm pretty much on throttle the entire time. I never lift.
You are the Energizer thinking. You just don't fucking quit.
I was just talking to Billy, he's like, you need an intervention.
Yeah, you got issues, bro.
Alright, so this hood cam clip is slowed down just so that I have time to talk about what's going on. When you have momentum, when you're going quickly down the straightaway here, and you flick it sideways, the car naturally wants to continue going straight. That's why the car self-steers. Now when I flick it here, I'm letting go of the wheel and letting the wheels point to where I want to go. I want the front wheels to point to where I want to go. Same thing here, lift a little bit, the car's going to rotate. Now my wheels are basically pointed towards that wall. And then I just use the steady throttle, and now I'm turning to the right just a little bit, just to get the car to rotate towards the right. Alright, I'm only going to talk at the beginning of this clip. I just want you guys to listen out for right when I initiate and give it a little wall tap. As I'm exiting the back section here, I just want you guys to look at my hands. They're relatively right around 9 and 3, and they're just making minor adjustments, shuffling in between each other. Right here, as I transition, loosen up my grip on the wheel, and just let the wheel do its thing. I hit full lock there for a second, and straight back out. Alright, never doing that again. Anyways, real quick, I'm just going to go over the setup on the car. Performance-wise, bone stock 2.2. It's got eBay coilovers and a custom homemade angle kit. No crazy wise fab, no high horsepower V8. It's just bare bones, rear-wheel drive converted, welded diff, drift car. You don't need to dump thousands and thousands of dollars into a car and then go drifting. You just need a car, rear-wheel drive, welded diff, preferably a manual, and just go have fun. That's the main thing, is just learn the limitations of the car, learn your limitations, and then grow off of it. Alright, so here's the next run. My initiations are pretty much cookie cutter at this point, regardless of the car I drive. Here, carry enough momentum to get me into the back section without straightening out, which is nice. You can see I'm pretty much on throttle the whole time, and I'm just turning the wheel, and I lose it. I'm not sure why I lose it. You know, again, I'm not perfect. The car's not perfect, but it happens. You spin out, you just keep going. Alright, next run. Here we go. First, into second. Clutch in, handbrake, turn left, let go of the wheel. Didn't kick out as much as I wanted it to, so I gave it a little bit of extra. Going through the back section. All one-handed gangsta style. You can see right here, kind of shuffle the wheel in between my hands. Main thing, right at the end of this long sweeping turn, see that? See how that steering wheel just kind of self-steered by itself? That's really what you want. No frantic hands, no crazy trying to get it to turn. If the car is set up correctly, it will steer on its own. I slow down the remainder of this clip primarily because I want you guys to focus on my hands. You can see that I have a relatively loose grip on the steering wheel, and right when I transition, into this right-hander, I loosen up my grip and let the steering wheel flow in between my hands. I don't remove my hands completely off of the wheel because I want to know where the wheel is at all times. If I completely remove my hands, I lose the wheel and it'll be harder for me to grab it when I need to. This is actually a pretty badass clip I forgot I filmed. Fellow driver Billy Penta decides to do a pretty cool standing burnout at the starting line. I decided to join in with him, and right behind me is Chad Velez himself in his V8 E46. Gives me a bump right there, and now he's doing a burnout right behind me. Billy takes off. I stop burning out, and Chad rear ends me. Alright, this is the very last run I filmed for this day. I hope you guys found this information helpful. If you guys have any questions, you can always ask me. This is my first time doing something like this, so any help or constructive criticism would be great. The whole point in this video is to just show that you don't need a crazy car to go out and have fun. You can get a $500 junker, weld the rear diff, put a seat and harness in it, and just go have fun. And that's the main thing about drifting, is just have fun. A little bonus clip for you guys. Pretty much one of the only clips that I got from the day before driving my LS 240, of course riding along, is the homie Ryan himself. Enjoy. And here's my very last run before I started losing oil pressure and eventually my engine seized. What is the one thing that I can do that will make Ryan's video cool with his arm out the window?
"'Tis but a scratch."
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
And goes.